So up to the housetop, the coursers they flew. Today, I'm going to start bringing that moment to life in this room, one magical moment at a time. Joe here. Thanks so much for stopping by today, and we're going to continue with my Christmas 2025 Twas the Night Before Christmas, and we're moving into this room right here, and I am going to be using this particular passage from the poem. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too, and then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. So I have some surprises planned for this room, but we have to start from the beginning. So if Santa's about to land on the housetop, I want the windows in this room to be ready. So today we're going to be decorating 2 garlands in this room, getting ready for this housetop design. So let's get going. Let's decorate with some magic and create some wonder. So I'm going to be decorating the circle top part of the 2 windows that are in this room. And it's kind of like an accessory to the room. I don't want it to overwhelm, and I don't want it to take away from anything else, because there are actually 2 important parts in this room: the tree, which is very, very important, and the mantle, which is very, very important for this story. But we're going to do a little backdrop on these windows. I use tiny brad nails to just tap them in around the edge, and then my garland, which attaches to those nails so it's nice and sturdy up there. I'm adding 100 mini lights to each one of these, and I find the midway point, and then to make sure that the window is completely covered on both sides. And there we have the 100 lights in the garland. I have my 2 garlands over the windows here in the music room, and I'm going to do something special in here and with the tree at least. And this year the tree is going to go right here between the 2 windows. Many times, once in a while I'll have it in that corner, and then most times I have it behind me, next to the mirror, which makes it even harder because I have to decorate around the whole tree. But that's not why I'm putting it here. I'm putting it here for a reason. I think it's just going to look right here. Now, I need to create a snowy and icy look on these garlands, because we're going to have the village going on in the tree here. So I need it to look snowy. So I have to go through my stuff. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep everything white and silver in here. And I guess I'm going to experiment with some crystal snowflakes up in here. And let's see. I'm going to go shopping in my bins and see what I can pull out to fulfill what I want this to look like. So I'm going to start by putting this giant snowflake in the window. Next, I'm going to use this tool, and I'm hoping it gives like a surreal kind of a look to the window. So I started by draping it on one side, and then I worked on the other side, and that's what it looks like. Next in is this Costco silver glitter ribbon. And this is what it looks like with the tool and the ribbon. Next in are these highly glittered branches. And I placed 4 of them around the center bow. Next in were a pair of silver pine cones. And I put 1 on each end, kind of like an anchor point. I always like those anchor points. They let the eye rest a second. Next, I decided to use 3 very large icicles. And I put 1 on each end, because remember I told you in the last video, I like to have an elongated object at the end of a garland, and of course 1 in the middle. Next in are these beautiful crystal snowflakes, followed by some dangling crystal beads. So when I got to this point, I walked away for a while, and when I came back in, I just wasn't feeling it. It didn't have the right look. It looked a little bit too sterile for the idea, for the homey, cozy, warmth feeling of Twas the Night Before Christmas. I know why I'm leaning towards the white. It has a reason which will unfold to you eventually, but it was just too much. So I decided, you know what? It's very traditional this year, so I'm going to carry some of the idea of the foyer into this room. It's right next to it, so I decided to use some red ornaments and some red poinsettia. And I started right in the center, and I also used those poinsettias, and I also added buffalo snow to give that wintry look. It carries just the right amount of magic to lay as a backdrop for the tree. Hope you enjoy it. Geez, I have so much to do in this room, and I only have 51 days left to my completion date of Thanksgiving. Thanks for stopping by. Check in again. Bye-bye.